So this morning on the wake up call, I talked a lot about how to scale your business. Okay. Um, One of the things that I am in the process of doing right now is working with the team um, to really understand how big this company is going to get, what the goals are for the company. Um, that we actually, and Maritza will tell you the same, we've actually carved out equity for each and every one of you guys. Obviously, it's got to be earned, but our goal is to build something significant over the next 3 to 5 years and beyond to be able to sell the company and be able to give everyone that's involved the opportunity to participate in a sellout, a buyout of a company. Guys, that's where wealth is created. So, that said, it's really important for us because it's so funny that you guys are the ones that are here. Um, yeah, you guys are the ones that are here. Um, you guys are the ones that are already shaping out to being the top leaders in the company, right? So for you guys, I see armies being built through you, right? I see each one of you guys having a home office near your place of residence and building through that, right? But when we decide that we want to really sell this book of business, it's a right off into the sunset move for everybody here. So one of the things that we're doing is we're doing an evaluation on where we are now, where we want to go, how big could this actually get, right? I know individuals that don't even have ownership in companies that make seven figures a month minimum. Okay, they don't even have ownership. They're just somebody who built a team, right? How big can this actually get, right? So that we can then identify that and then reverse engineer. So one of the most important things that we can do is develop systems. Remember, guys, we are not a recruit first company, right? What is a recruit first company? Pretty much a network marketing company, right? The people that have you come in and recruit friends and family and who recruit friends and family, who recruit friends and family. That model is not bad and it works for those that want to use that model. But for the most part, that's kind of like the spaghetti on the wall model, right? You grab a bunch of spaghetti, you keep throwing it on the wall, and sooner or later you have a couple noodles that stick, but you just got to keep throwing more and more so that more and more noodles stick. We don't do that. On the flip side, right, we are not only going to focus on production, right? We want to teach you guys how to build a real business, a full service brokerage, which includes responsible recruitment, right? Which also includes, right, onboarding and bringing on new people appropriately. So, with all of that being said, this is going to be a short call today, but I wanted to make sure you guys are all aware of our process, how it works, why it works, and give you guys an opportunity to ask any questions. So, somebody gets started. Let's say they're brand new, right? First thing we have to do, we have to get licensed. So you take your exam, you get your writing number, and then now the next step is you get contracted, right? So you work with Zulma, our marketing coordinator. You get contracted with the carriers that we use, right? Once you're contracted, we have a launch, and we do have a launch sequence that we're going through with people. It's not put up on a website now. That's the plan, like a module system. Right now, I'm just going through it with people. But once you get launched, okay, where do I go, right? How do I get my business moving? Okay, we want to give people options. We want to give people the ability, okay, to build a business the way that they want to build a business. But let me ask you guys a question. Do you know that if you went to, I don't know, flight school, that there's really only one way to get off the ground, right? Are you going to get into the cockpit with your flight instructor and tell him, you know what? I think I got a new way. He's going to say, well, let me get out. This ain't going to go right. Right? There's only one way to get a plane off the ground. Now, once you master that, right, then you can say, I want to fly a Cessna. I want to fly a Boeing. I want to fly this. I want to fly here. This is the type of pilot I want to be. But there are certain things that are not really up for negotiation, right? And we all in agreement with that? Well, with that being said, there's only a handful of ways to get your business rolling when you first get started, okay? So let's talk about this. The startup process is real simple, okay? First and foremost, guys, we do not get paid to show up, right? A lot of us work a full-time job, or we've worked full-time jobs in the past, and we've all had those days where it's like, man, I was probably like no production today at all. It's kind of a waste of a day. You still made your 8 hours pay that day, right? We get paid here to produce, okay? Can we all agree that that's the only thing we're here to do is produce, right? So our number one focus at all times is to cultivate and to generate new business. That's the only thing we're about. On an individual basis, every single day you should be focusing on cultivating and generating new business, because otherwise you and I are wasting our time. Are we in agreement on that? Yeah? Give me a thumbs up. Yes? Okay. Now, so how do we do that? Especially as a new agent. Okay, a couple things to give you guys examples of. So first and foremost, obviously we buy leads. Okay, we've got to select a focus. Okay, whether that is, general life insurance. Okay, IBC, annuities. Right. Select a route that you want to go in. Right. Select and purchase from our verified lead vendors. And by the way, we got some stuff cooking for y'all from a lead vendor perspective. Ooh, wait, it's going to be fun. Now, the second way, okay, is financial seminar. Now, why does somebody have a financial seminar, right? Well, first off, there's multiple reasons, because you're going to run into people in one of two areas. Either number one, hey, I've got a credit card, it's got 15 grand on it. I get it, I'm ready to go. It takes money to make money. Let's make it happen. Should they still have a financial seminar? What do you guys think? Yeah? How come? Someone share with me.
This is one of their first meetings that they get to invite their friends and family, kind of introduce themselves, but do it in a non-pressure kind of situation. And you'd be surprised at who you thought was thinking about it, who wasn't thinking about it. It's unpaid. It gets you started. It gets your foot in the door. All of it.
Yeah. So marketing and branding, even if you have, thank you, Priscilla, even if you have leads to invest in, money to invest in leads, it's going to market and brand yourself, right? You're going to start to make a name around your community and in your circles with it. Okay. But on a practical side, you will come to a place. Remember, I told you there's only 3 ways to grow your business. Number one, write more business. Number two, write bigger business. Number three, to grow your business, to hire agents. You can't coach somebody to do something that you've never done. So even if you're like, I don't want to do this at all, I hate it, but I do want to build an agency, right? You have to go through the process so that you know what it's like, so that you can be a better coach one day. Okay. That's number one person. Number two person is, man, if I had money to buy leads, I'd totally do it, but I don't. Okay. So this is a really good option for them, because we use the favor, help, observe approach. Okay. So favor, help, observe means this: we're not recruiting them, we are not selling them. What we're doing is we're asking them to do us a favor, to help us out, and join a Zoom so that I can get some observation hours, right? That's all it is. Now, what this is going to do is get you a lot of free exposures. Okay. Everybody who's done this before will attest. Yeah, like there were people who were excited and interested that I never thought were going to be excited and interested. And it's funny because years ago I learned this in a different industry, but it always holds true. Those that I think will usually won't, and those that I think won't usually will. So the idea is we never prejudge, but it's going to get you a lot of free exposures. Okay. Maybe they don't want it, but they're like, you know what? I was just talking to my brother, and he was saying that him and his wife want to look at some type of retirement thing. I'm going to pass over their information for them. So nothing but good comes from doing a financial seminar. And what we usually see is one financial seminar is going to equal an application. Okay. So the goal here is to generate business, to get trained. I should add that, to be trained, right? To understand the process in the system, so that you can then turn around and purchase leads, right? So the final expense method, or excuse me, the final financial seminar method is to get somebody into the game, get them into the batter's box, get them some exposures, get them some at bats, with the hope of generating a business policy or two, and then you turn around and you put it back into leagues. Does that make sense, guys? All right. The third thing that we want to do is we want to always ask, do you have a short list, right? Your warm market. Typically, I'm the one who deals with I'm the one that's kind of in charge of hiring and recruiting. So I'm typically dealing with folks that are just brand new. They just got their license. They just got contracted. And every single person, I helped onboard Patty. Yes, Patty? I helped onboard Priscilla. Yes. Isabel? Yep. Jacqueline? Yep. Luis? Yep. I think Tony? Yep. Every single one of you guys had already in your pocket one or two people just in your family or friends network that was like, yeah, I have a friend. She wants to talk about this, right? So this is also something that we need to intentionally tap into with a new person, right? You have 3 to 5 people that are close to you that are already interested, okay? And what we do is we set up F&As with your training agent. So in this case, at least right now, we have 2 training agents. One is myself, one is Maritza, okay? And we have 2 that are just right there, okay? You know who they are? Priscilla and Isabel. Because it's just based on how many deals that you've written, right? I know I've mentored Priscilla. Maritza's pretty much mentored Isabel. She'd probably say, yeah, she's probably ready to bring somebody on, right? Why is it important for you to be a training agent? Okay. I'm going to get to that in a few, but getting yourself to becoming a trading agent actually puts money in your pocket. Okay. So you run the numbers and you can conduct financial seminars with these folks. But the goal, again, is to generate business to produce leads. Okay. To purchase leads. Now, become a product of a product is another thing. And this is really important, guys. So the number one way to grow confidence in the products, in the industry, is to become a client. And this is something that Maritza, correct me if I'm wrong, but we were raised in the industry like this. This is an industry norm. When you get hired somewhere, it's not even a question. You're buying a policy for yourself. It just always is that way, right? We have been a little bit more lenient with it, okay? But yeah, everybody should be a product of the product, right? You'll go through the process as a client. So you're going to learn as well. You're going to be able to see what it's like, okay? And the TA, the training agent, writes the policy, okay? Now, here's what I will tell you. You can discuss with your training agent a split to help with some funds to buy leads if need be. So let's say, let's say I'm bringing on Isabel, okay, and we're working, and she wants to do 2 or 3 policies, and from a writing perspective, I'm pretty good with money. Like, I don't need the money, but I know that she's trying to, she really likes the product. She actually wants it, but I know that it could help her buy some leads. I might say, hey, let's do a 50-50 split, but that is at the discretion of the training agent. Okay. Are we all in understanding that? Okay. Now, take off the agent cap, and I want you to put on the training agent cap for 1 second, okay? Here's why this is important. This is a decision that Maritza and I and Wences are making for you, the next level of leaders. One of the biggest things that you're going to learn how to do is you're going to have to learn how to be respectful of your time. You're going to have to learn how to not let people waste your time, okay? Now, what does that mean? Guys, everybody has good intentions when they get into this industry, right? Man, I want to do this. I'm really excited. Yada, yada, yeah, right? But does everybody pan out? No. And what did I say on the very first slide? We don't get paid to show up. We get paid to write business. So let's say over the course of 6 months, I'm mentoring Luis. I'm there for him. I do a couple of financial seminars for him. He calls me all the time. He asks me questions. I help him talk to a couple of clients, but he never writes business, okay? And then something happens and he just disappears, because there's really never a formal exit in this industry. When somebody just doesn't want to do it anymore, they just they disappear. Like their phone stops working, apparently. They get put into the witness protection program. Let's just say Luis disappears. Now, from a strictly dollars and cents perspective, I got screwed, right? Because I gave of my time that I don't get paid for because he never wrote any business. So this is the reason why we had a very intentional call on Thursday, Maritza and myself and Wences. Part of it was because Maritza's been putting in a gang of hours with you fools. And she is the type of person that won't be like, oh, so we're like, nope, we're doing this, right? But it's also for you guys, okay? We will stand and have your back, okay, against anybody else that comes in later to say, no, Patty's working with you. She's working for you. She's sacrificing her time, and she absolutely deserves to write this business. Now, you do have the discretion to be able to say, you know what, though, I'm going to cut in Julie, 70% or 50% because I want to help her give her up. That's totally up to you, okay? But we want to make sure that you guys know what it's going to take to be successful, because you will get a team soon enough. And when you do, there will be people who just suck your time and you never get anything back for it. Okay. Does that make sense, guys? Are we okay? We're all on the same page. Yes. Okay, good. Maritza, am I missing anything here? Anything you want to add?
No, you're good.
Okay, good. So last slide, the life of an agent. All of that being said, this is how we get started. But what should I be doing now that I've actually got a business? Now, maybe it's not the business that I want yet. Maybe it's not matured the way I want. Maybe I'm not making the dollars and the cents that I want yet, but I'm not in that newbie phase anymore. Okay. What should I be doing? First and foremost, purchasing leads. Guys, purchasing leads is not a sometime thing. Okay. It's an all the time thing. You've got to be putting leads into your funnel all the time. Guys, it's going to take some people 90 days, 3 purchases before they ever get the feel for it. It might take somebody 1 purchase, but here's what doesn't work. I'm going to buy 10 leads and see what happens. Buy 10 leads, and then they're like, oh, I'm beating these 10 up. They're done. Like, guys, if you don't get them on the second or the third try, typically they're pretty much done so. But because people don't understand that process, they're just beating up the same 10 leads for like 10 months. That ain't going to work. Okay. So an active purchase plan. Okay. Number 2, marketing and branding constantly to generate referrals. The policy that I put in yesterday, referral. Why would we not be focusing as actively on referrals, right? When you think about it from a business perspective, how much money did it take for me to generate a sale? 0. So if you had a choice, Priscilla, and I'm going to ask you because I know you have a pretty hefty lead purchase budget. If you had a choice to write a $500,000 rollover off of a referral or a $500,000 rollover off of a 30-day purchase on leads, which would you rather do? It's free, guys. Free 99, right? So the next is always be asking for referrals. Okay. Now, real quick though, word or two about social media. Social media works and it's really good. I don't know if you guys are following the Finline Financial page on Instagram. We have Finline Financial, which is our outward client facing. I put a lot of good stuff on there. That's free for you guys to use. Okay. Use that stuff and start sending it out to your team. But we also have the Finline Agency, which is the internal sales side. That's not necessarily stuff for our clients. But what I would say to you is this. I never understood why people would create a social media account that's brand new. Like let's say I have one and it's Mario Delgadillo. And it's just family and sports and friends. And then I get licensed and now I have Mario, the insurance guy, with no followers, no content, nothing screams I'm a newbie more than that. And I submit that could actually be counterproductive, right? It actually could push people away from you because they're like, this dude is brand new. How can I trust him, right? But the other thing is, guys, is people buy people. People are buying you. They're not buying the products. So integrate, my recommendation, integrate your business into your regular social media handles, right? because people are going to buy you. People know, love, and trust you. People want to be, oh, what's Patty doing? Oh, look at that. That's cool. Priscilla's doing this. That's awesome. Right? Because you're not separating yourself from who they already know. Does that make sense, guys? So, but marketing, branding, asking referrals, something you should be doing. Creating partnerships. Guys, if you can create a partnership with a CPA, you've literally just hit gold, like you struck gold. CPAs and tax professionals are like gold. Okay. Why? Luis, who's on the call here, who you guys never see his face. When was the last time you saw Luis's face? Luis, can we see your face just once? I don't think you're going to get fired if you put your camera on one time. Let's see your face. See if he's even listening. Throw him under the bus here because Luis is a tax professional. And during tax season, he gets a lot of exposures. Okay. And whatever he tells his clients, they do. It is unreal because they already trust him and they trust him with their money already. And if he tells them, hey, this is something you should do, they're like, okay. His clients are the easiest clients ever, right? Because he has that trust. Real estate agents, CPAs, there's a lot of different partnerships that you can build. Hosting events, lunch and learns, wealth management education. There's a lot of different things that you can do there. And then finally, recruiting and training. Guys, becoming a training agent is a very easy way to generate business. Okay. Because let's say I hired 3 people on this month, right? Those 3 people get licensed. So it's end of September. Okay. Hiring 3 people takes them a month to get licensed. So that's October. But then in November, they're contracted and ready to go. What are those people going to do? Financial seminars. Those 3 people, let's say they all got 3 deals. Let's say they all got 2 deals, whatever it is. I'm splitting those deals with them, right? Because their first 3 deals we split with the training agent. So 3 times, so there's 9 deals that I'm going to make 30% on in the month of November. Not to mention, if each one of them do a product, then I also get 3 more products there that I'm actually writing as a training agent. So if I'm hiring 1 or 2 people every month, I can actually forecast 1 or 2 months down the road overriding business from them. Now, we all know that Maritza writes massive business deals. But Maritza, are you not crazy busy right now with all these split deals too? Right? And that's because I recruited a gang of people. You're welcome. But the idea, guys, is that's a real legitimate way to count business on a monthly basis. So on a monthly basis, I generate my own referrals. I'm buying leads. I try to go to 1 event a month, and I'm hiring people. So I'm taking multiple overrides and split deals from them. So does that take away from the stress of having to be like, oh my God, I'm always buying leads. Yeah, it does. Right? Like when you're buying leads, sometimes you're going to have 5 or 6 leads that come through the pipe at one time and they all close. And sometimes you're going to go a month and it's just going to be dry. Priscilla, are you feeling me on that? Am I right or wrong? Sometimes you feel like, okay, I guess Room is like going bankrupt because their leads just suck. And then literally Monday, you have like 6 appointments and all of a sudden you're just jamming, right? So if you have referrals and other things, you have new agents coming on, you have events coming, you're doing all these other things, all it does for you guys is lessen the stress load and allows you to be the person you're supposed to be. Because I get it, guys. When money's tight, your conversations mean a lot more for you. But when they do, your clients can fill it. So if you can put yourself in a position where you're not so worried, then you'll have better, more organic, right? Freer conversations. And I promise you your conversion will go up. Okay. So I'm going to stop the recording there.